Hello. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. I just say the same thing every time I start a stream, don't I? Every single time I start, say the same thing. The same thing over and over again. Right. Let's have a look. Shall we continue with this then? I think we shall. I'll show you what I did after last time, a couple of days ago. I got all the balance connectors finished, and I've got all the temperature sensors connected as well. So we're at a stage literally where I just have to do the positive end connections and then pop the BMS on, and that's it really. That's a separate cable just to connect to it, which I'll do afterwards. Yeah, I think that's about it really. So I'll just have to show it you. I've put some bubble wrap underneath it because this pot negative has now got the connections soldered onto it. So they stick out a little bit. So I just don't want to knock them basically. I'll just show you the back. Let's see if I can focus on that. It looks about right somewhere there, so you can see it's probably a reflection off the tape, but you can see what I've done. I'll tilt it away from the light maybe. There we go. That's better. So this is what we did last time. I just finished this off. This is one of the temperature sensors coming up here, and what I did was I just got a just cut into the tape with a scalpel and just cut the Kapton tape away and just tucked it right underneath everything against the cell, and then just taped it back over basically. So I've done that with all the temperature sensors, and these are all the balance connectors. Try to keep these as separate as possible without trying to overlap, although in some cases it's really hard to do that. There is the I'm trying to get the reflection off it so you can actually see it. So if I hold it at an angle, it's probably better, although that's a little bit out of focus now, but still, there we go. Yeah, so you can see it all runs up here and then just spreads out either side basically. This is the space for the BMS, which we're going to put on in a little while. You can see I've just put fish paper, barley paper all over the back of that just to stop anything nicking it, or if anything just scratches the Kapton tape off. It shouldn't, because the inside of the battery case has all got like a neoprene rubber foam in it for bumps and protection and stuff. Incidentally, I'll just say this quickly. If this stream cuts off at any point, it's because my computer has died and it's been randomly crashing it's just randomly crashing the last few hours like. So I don't know, I might get cut off on this stream, but I'll try and get back on if we do and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, there's the bottom of it, as you can see. You can see quite clearly one of the temperature. In fact, let's hold it up, see if I can get it right up close to you. You can see quite closely there one of the temp sensors that I've run down, and that just sits, it's just literally sitting in between the two cells there. That's all that's happening. These all run down, go either way. There's another temp sensor. Let's see if I can tilt that away from the light. You can see it there anyway. Just runs down there, just into the side of the cell there. So the way I've got that, I don't know if you can see the actual negative side. I'll try and show it you, but you're probably not going to see it through all the Kapton tape I've put on it. I've done the same thing that I've done with these here. It's literally just soldered it and then I just welded it to the battery like that, basically in between a couple of cells, and I've done 2 lines to it. But you're going to see me do the positive side now anyway, so that's cool. Yeah, so that just runs around the back. I put some fish paper underneath it just so it's got no It's got a bit of protection between it and the Kapton tape and the balance wires that are underneath it, basically. There it is. That's how it's currently sitting. Let's get that back in focus. Somewhere there, I believe. Yeah. So there it is. Let's get that out of the way. I'll show you. So this is what you didn't see last time. This is the temp sensor wire with 4 temp sensors. One just drops off straight away down here. The other one comes down and drops down. The other one over here to here, over there, and down there. So I've literally just tried to like put it into like quadrants almost, that where there's a temp sensor, and just spread them around basically, because there's no way for me to actually get them into the top and down, because once the plastic holders for the batteries are on, there's no gaps in between for it to go down. Otherwise I would have gone down in the middle in some places maybe, or maybe like 2 in the middle here and 2 here or something. I would have preferred to do that, but I couldn't get in there. Could have drilled, but I'm not going to do that with the cells. I mean, it's just not worth it really. Yeah, so there it is. That's the wire you didn't see me put on last time, which is number 14. So we've got absolute negative, then 1 to 13 on here, and then we've got 14 and absolute positive, which go to the same place basically. They're both at 14 obviously, so that just connects down to the bottom, as it is a 14S battery. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with this negative cable, because the BMS sits up here and the connections for these two are going to be here somewhere into the BMS. So yeah, it's probably just going to be loose, but I'm just wondering how, if or not, I'm going to fix this to here, whether I tape it on or whether I put some glue on or something, I don't know, and just keep it on the side of there, something like that. Yeah, and then these positives are all going to run up through these cracks here. They're all going to run. I'll show you exactly what they're going to do. Let's tie this up. Positives are going to run, let's have a look, down here like that, and like that. And then that one is for the charge, which also goes down there like that. So they're going to run through the battery and come out this side, and that's my positive connections here. And then the BMS will sit on top, which is this beast here. Will sit there like that, over the top of those positive cables. And that will be it. Lovely job. Yeah, so I guess we'll get at it, shall we? Let's get at it. What I need to do is I'm just going to quickly plug the I need to go on that side, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to untape this for now, so I can just leave that away and not have that leaning on it all the time. You'll see that I've just heat shrunk, put some heat shrink over the ends of these just to stop any rogue connections and sparks. Don't want any of that stuff going on. Yeah, so I've just got it on some bubble wrap just to stop these cables getting squashed and stuff, and just make it a bit easier, a bit better basically. Those two cells aren't anything to do with this. They're going to get taped over probably in a second actually. So let's first clear out this tape and get the and just expose this positive terminal. Let me just zoom in for you so you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. Let's spin it round. There we go. I'm not a cameraman, that's not the best shot in the world, but there you go. Okay, that's not too bad actually. Maybe I'll keep it like that because this is mainly the work we're going to be doing today. So you can see that the that balance wire for the 14 comes in right at that end there. I've ordered some new blades for my scalpel because the other ones were blunt as hell, and it's a good job. Can't beat a nice sharp blade on your scalpel, especially when you're doing such precision surgery as I'm doing here. There's no precision involved really, none at all. Let's expose the danger. Well, there's no danger. There's no danger, is there? They're not dangerous, these things. As long as you handle them properly. Any questions, shout out. Any comments, shout out. Or if you can't hear me, shout out. Hopefully you can hear me. I think my mic's working, so I'm sure someone would have said they can't hear me by now if it wasn't working. And I can see me meter bobbing up and down, so I think it's good. Nice to know that this Kapton tape is actually quite difficult to peel off, or at least it takes some effort, so I know it's not just going to get scratched off and start exposing contacts once I start riding this bike, which I will be doing very, very soon, thankfully. Just try not to go over that heat shrink on the balance connection. That is good enough, really. That's all we need to get to, I think. Because the way this is going to go is I've pre-soldered these like so with a piece of nickel on, and it's going to drop on there, and I'm going to weld it to either side of it, and then it's going to drop down there, and then the same is going to happen here, and it's going to drop down there like so. So that's how they're going to go. I'm putting one up here to probably take the current off these three here, and then this one takes the current off these three here. Just spread the load between the two basically. I've got two 12 AWG wires coming off this. I had a right search online where to find ampage and stuff for these, and to be honest, a lot of these cables will take a decent amount of ampage, more than you think really. The deciding factor on the thickness of these cables, for me at least, looking at the stuff at the charts and stuff, a guy in one of the forums said to me, he sent me a chart, and it's the deciding factor is actually the melt point of the sleeving. So if you're using like a PVC or a plastic or whatever it is, then it's got a lower melt point, so the cable can't get as hot, and obviously it causes an issue. I mean, a lot of the ratings you'll find for these cables are actually done like for home installs and stuff, or for using in like a building or something like that. So they have to, you know, it kind of references building regs and stuff. I can't really find anything that's not for that sort of thing basically, but yeah, so this is a silicon casing on this, or sleeve if you like, on this, and it actually says on it 200 degrees C, and that's what it says on the websites I've looked at as well. It basically says 200 degrees C and gives a higher ampage for that. And I think these are like rated at, don't quote me, but I think they're, well, I've got that list on my phone somewhere. Hang on a sec. I've got that on my phone. I should show it on screen really, but I can't at the moment. I've unplugged my second monitor because I was having those problems earlier, so I didn't want to mess with it. Oh, I think I've closed the page like an idiot. Yeah, I have. Anyway, it was a decent rating anyway. At 200 degrees, it's something like 50 amps or something like that. And I was like quite surprised. I thought it'd be lower than that. And it is down to the casing on it and stuff. Obviously, you shouldn't run it up that high anyway, which I'm not going to be, because this is my controller is a 30 amp controller, and that's what I kind of, around there is what I expect to be pulling. If it goes, I mean, the controller cut off, I guess, is at 30 amps anyway, so I can't pull more than that, otherwise it just isn't going to work. But yeah, so got 2 of these, which are going to be doing 15 amps each at full tilt, which I don't intend to be hammering it at full tilt all the time anyway. So I guess that my guess is that this is going to be enough, basically. 2 12s on each end. Hopefully that is the case. Soon find out once I start riding it or not. Yeah, I think it's fine. I was going to put 3 on, but I just feel like it's going to be overkill, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to put 2 on. The third one I have here is actually just a cable for it's a cable for the charge socket. Let me just focus that slightly. It's not very deep, the depth of field on this. Yeah, it's a cable for the charge socket. So this is just one that's going to come in here. It's going to sit on that end one and go straight off to the charge port. That's all that's going to do. That's going to be my positive for the charge port. So yeah, it's only carrying, it's the same cable anyway, but it's only carrying, I think it's like 1.5, what is it? Oh no, it's about 4 amps, this charger. Yeah, 4 amps, my charger for the battery. So yeah, it's absolutely fine for that anyway. So yeah, that's what that's for. I'm just going to weld that one onto the end of there, and then we're good. That will be the positive end done. And then there's just placing the BMS and soldering the wires and stuff and getting that all connected basically. So let's crack on and do it. Instead of enough of me talking, let's do this. Let's do this! So I want the longer one further down here. That's what I'm saying. I think it's this one here. So that one can go to the side for now. This one can come on here. That's where we're going. Just make sure I'm happy with the length of this, and it's not, I don't like it pushing over onto this negative ring too much, because obviously that's where the even though I've got plastic ring on the battery and there's a paper ring that I've put on it, I mean, it's like it's probably more protected than it's ever going to be, but I just don't like it going too much. It doesn't seem too bad to me, that. I might just nick the end off it with some scissors just quickly. Remember where I put my scissors. They're here, don't worry. I'm a master at cutting too much off this nickel strip when I chop it, so I'm gonna just be very careful when I'm cutting that off. Literally just a sliver. And I'm literally just chopping that with a pair of scissors. I mean, I found they used to be the best as well, and I found if you cut it right down this end, it's bad because it curls up the corners of the nickel, and that's when they're spiky. If you cut it right down the far end here, it cuts it quite straight and it doesn't bend the nickel as you're cutting it, so it actually just gives a bit of a nicer cut on it. There's a little tip for you, hey? Coming in here, getting free tips. Oh, I don't know. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for that. And I put some... When I did the negative, I did some quite... I don't know, in my books I'd call it excessive, but I suppose it's just a safe amount. But I put a fair few spot welds on the connections, because these are the main battery connections, you know. So I just want to make sure they're really solid, and there's no harm in putting extra connections on it. So why not? You know what I mean? Why not? I'm just connecting up the spot welder. Do that for a second so you can see. Yeah, just connecting this up. My Arduino spot welder, which I bought from Malectrix. If you don't know where to get one from, malectrix.eu I think it is. M-A-L, Ectrix, Malectrix. Is it .eu? I think it's .eu. You'll find it anyway. Just put Arduino spot welder in Google, it comes up straight away. No danger. Yeah, you see 50 milliseconds. That's what I was on for some of the negative welding. That's where I've been welding, because on some of the places I was welding through 3 strips and trying to really get it welded down, you know. Incidentally, this cell that's out on its own, I've double stripped this after suggestions from Ali, one of the guys in the forum, and I've seen some guys online since suggest the same thing. So as it's out on its own there, I've double stripped that one. So when this goes in, it's not going to be, you know, there's going to be plenty of, I don't know, just a decent connect. It might just, I suppose if the draw's a bit more, I don't know, but it was suggested. I took the advice and I've done it. Right, 50. I'm going to knock that down a touch. I'm going to go down, because there's only 2 layers of nickel on here. I'm going down to about 35 maybe, and see how the weld is. You know what? I don't actually know what the bike weighs without the battery. I have no idea. It's a complete aluminium frame. It's certainly not heavy. It is very, very light. I could probably tell you just by searching for it online, to be honest. But it's not a heavy bike by any means. It's an all aluminium frame. So it's a Trek Marlin 5. And I bought the bike basically because I saw Andy Kirby's video of the, I don't know if you've seen Andy Kirby or not. It's build an e-bike in 1 hour. I saw his in 1 hour in a day. Sorry, I think it's in a day anyway. I watched his video, and he did that with a Trek Marlin 5. So I knew that the dropout would work, and because it was my first bike and I knew nothing about it, and I just wanted to get one. Okay, it's 14.5 kilograms, the bike is, which maybe give or take, because I think my wheels are 29 inch, I believe. They're quite big wheels. Yeah, 29 inch. Yeah, so I watched that video and I bought that bike. That's the reason I bought the bike, because I knew it would work with an e-bike. And then, to be honest, once I got it and realised how tight the triangle was in the frame, I was thinking, man, maybe I should have bought another bike, to be honest, or just done a bit more research and bought something else. But I've stuck with it, and it's cool. There was a point where I was going to change the bike, to be honest, but no, I know it's cool, and it works. I've sorted it, so it's fine. Yeah, it's all good. I'm not changing the disc brakes either. I'm keeping the original disc brakes at the moment, anyway. To be honest, it's got disc brakes on the front and rear, so that's 1,000 watt. I don't think it needs it really. I mean, it depends on the rider as well, I suppose, doesn't it? I'm not going to be hell for leathering all around the place, you know, and just like. Yeah, I'm not going to go crazy on it by any stretch of the imagination. I'm selling it, to be honest. Once I've built this bike, I'm selling it. So I'm not gonna leather it anyway, because I want to sell it. I want someone to buy it off me in absolute, pretty much perfect condition, which is currently what it is. It's in really good nick, the bike. It's like brand new. It is like brand new, the bike. So I'm not gonna jeopardise the sale by hammering it anyway. Yeah, so I want to sell it. I know a lot of people say, why the hell are you building and going to all this trouble building an e-bike and then you're just going to sell it? And it's because this is very much just a project for me. It's something I saw. I do that all the time. I see things. I want to. When I see something like that, I just want to build it, or I want to make one myself. I just want the experience, So I just get involved in it and just go. As is usually the case, I just go straight into it, head first, and yeah. So maybe I'll really enjoy it and I'll keep it once I've done it, but I just don't think so. I've got other plans, you see. I've got plans to do other stuff. So therefore, that is pretty solid. I like it. Looks good. I did this the other time. I just crank it up. Just put another, like 45 seconds on and just do a couple of more pulses on it. It's not going to hurt it. It's only going to make it a stronger attachment. So I'm just going for it. There we go. That one felt like it fired in as well. Just get them in. Get them in. I don't want to wreck the actual. I don't want to wreck the nickel that I'm putting down, but it's not. It's solid. That's good. Yeah, so I've got plans to do because obviously while I've been building this, there's been other stuff that's come up, and I'm like, I've just noticed a sharp bit under there that I really would like to get rid of. From where I've snipped the snip the battery holder into the right size. So I've obviously snipped a number off there, and I should have done that pre this, but that's fine. I'm just going to get a little file. My files are actually here. I'm going to get a little file and just file it down. It's just a little sharp bit right where that cable's coming over. Don't like it. Yeah, so I'm going to do a scooter. I'm going to do a mad scooter, is my plan. If anyone is here from the stream, who's watched the stream previously, probably saw me talk about it. These are just plastic, so they're really easy to file down. Don't want any sharp edges when there's cables knocking about, I might even just get in there and give that a snip. Give that a little snip with the cutters as well. I don't think there's anything there to snip, to be honest. There's a little bit, look, a little bit, just a little sharp bit on the corner. I welded it so good that I can't actually bend it up and get to it, but that's fine. That's exactly what I want. I want it to be that much better. No sharp edge whatsoever. Lovely. And I've noticed that there is a sharp edge on that one. Just caught my eye. You can see it right there. See that little. So let's just snip that if we can. Snip an angle on it. So it just like a 45 almost, and then file over the corner, which is going to be even better. Lovely. Beautiful. Lovely job. Yeah, so I want to build a scooter. I've got ideas in my mind for a big, ridiculous, fat-wheeled scooter, but I want to build it myself. I don't want to buy something. I'm going to buy the wheels with the motors in. I'm going to buy a front wheel and a back wheel and a disc brake set. I think that's what I've decided on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to buy. And then I'm going to, I can't weld, personally, myself. I have no idea how to weld. I'm just going to pop one on the corner there where that lip is coming up. I have no idea how to weld. Much better. I'm gonna maybe put one on the corner of there as well, right on the side. That's lovely. Try and get these married right together. Lovely. Yeah, I've no idea how to weld, but I'm going to do... I've done a MIG course, like a one-day MIG course, and I'm going to do a one-day, or at least a short TIG course as well, and I want to build the scooter frame myself. Or at least I'm thinking, well, in my mind that's what I want to do. Let's see what happens, but yeah, I want to build the scooter frame. I want to weld it up myself from the actual tube, you know. And then, yeah, maybe I'll buy the forks for it, actually, thinking about it. Maybe that will be won't be all of it. It'll just be the base that holds the wheels and stuff. But I'll see as well. Maybe I'll just find something that suits perfectly. It's because I've got something in my head, and when I get something in my head, it just sticks, and like oh, I want to build it like that, you know. So that is currently what's in my mind, and that's what I'm going to do. Another sharp edge there. Don't like them sharp edges. That's not going to really knock anything, but if there's a wire outside that just knocks against it, rubs, not worth it, is it? Just chop it off. Get rid of it. Doesn't scratch my finger, it's not going to scratch anything else. Everything else is pretty good. Yeah, so have you so I know you've been here before talking about a bike that you're building, I think, Dale. So have you changing disc brakes on yours, or are you keeping standard stuff, or? Let's get that one welded as well. That's fine. I'm going to leave that on 45 because I'm just happy with that going right through on this. I had to do a few too many on the last one, I feel, and it was down to me. Maybe just not having it. It was probably strong enough, it's just me. Belts and braces and all, you know. I'm going to put one more in near that side, probably. And near that. There we go. There you go. I like to get right near the edge of these strips as well, just so they can't curl up. Get the corners. Get right into the corner so it just can't catch anything and bend up, you know. It's actually alright when you've got a few layers on it, because it doesn't spark and go mental. When you've only got like 2 layers on, if you miss the positive end, it just burns through the nickel and sparks. It doesn't do anything. It will scare the hell out of you the first time it happens if you're doing it, but I think it did to me the first 3 or 4 times. But yeah, it's just melting through the nickel, and it's got nothing underneath for the current to run into. So it's like that's why it kind of sparks a bit. But it's no major shakes. It's not a big issue, and it's not a problem. It will make you a bit jumpy though. So now I'm doing the balance wire on the corner one I was talking about. Sorry, the charge cable. So this is the charge. This is the charge wire for the positive. I'll tuck it right into that corner. Don't want it up here, because this is where the BMS is going to be. So I want to tuck it, make sure it's tucked right down, because it needs to sit in that groove and go through along with that one as well. And the BMS sits over the top of those two. So it needs to tuck right into that corner, make sure it's in the right place. Tuck it in. I'm trying to do this so you can see what I'm doing, but Once you've seen one spot weld, you've seen them all, to be honest, so it doesn't really matter that much. I'm going to turn that down a bit, maybe to 40, because it's not so much nickel on the end here. There we go. And it's not as vital because this is not carrying full current, it's just carrying the charge current. Every connection's vital, to be fair. I can't really put it like that, but you know what I mean. There we go. Just give it a yank. It's not going anywhere, that. Can't put it too much, but it ain't going anywhere. Definitely not. And that's it, that's my positive, and that's exactly the same way that I've done the negative. That's exactly the same way that I've done the negative. It's like just across the cells, basically. Maybe I can show you a photo of the negative that I took, actually. Let's see, hang on a sec. 2 seconds, I'll see if I can show you a photo of the negative. So I did take a photo of it. There we go, see if you can see that. There you go, can you see? So I've just done the same thing with the negative. This one's off here is double stripped, and then these two, this kind of first one shares off from these three, hopefully, and this one takes in from these three. And this doesn't need to be double stripped because it already has 2 connections to it, so that's the negative. Exactly the same way as I've done this. Near enough, it's a different shape, but it's the same concepts. Dolphin. Rotors. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll see how it is when I get on it. I suppose this is my first one, so it sounds like you've ridden one before, and you've got a feel for it and how it should handle or stop or whatever as well. So you've probably sound like you've got a bit more experience doing it than I have, which is 0 currently. But yeah, I'll ride it and check it out. Like I say, I'm not going to go crazy anyway. I'm just going to test it out and see what it's like. And if anything needs upgrading, or it's not safe for any reason, then I'll change some stuff over. Definitely. I think this battery, I worked out this battery. I think it's about 4.5 kilos or something. I think it's something like that. 45 grams of battery, I think. And there's 84 of them. Okay, no, 3.7 kilos in terms of cells, and the rest of it is grams really. The BMS is probably the only other heavy part, and that ain't that heavy. It's not that heavy. It's probably it's probably, I don't know, 300 grams maybe, something like that. It's about 4 kilos in total, I'd say. About 4 kilos, the battery. Okay, so and now you can see what I'm trying to do here, which is it's going over there, and then going over there, like so, and then the BMS is going to sit on top down there. I'm going to get something to, well, I'm going to tape these in anyway. I'll probably put some fish paper over it as protection for these cables, and then yeah, get them taped down. In fact, we'll do that now because they're done. Get some tape in there, get some fish paper on it. Just using some Kapton tape to tape those down. The batteries have already got a layer of Kapton tape on them, just to stop any. I may put just belts and braces. I may just put a little strip of fish paper underneath those as well, where they're lying on the cells. Yes, I'm going to do that. It's going to make me feel better about it. So I'll get some of this stuff and just take a slice off it, or cut a length off it, a little chunk, so something like that. Just chop that with the scissors. See if my cutting's usually quite good at eyeing 90-degree angles. Used to be a carpenter. It's my carpenter's eye. Tends to work quite well. Look at that, perfectly wonky. Scooter's going to be. I've looked at a 48 volt 1000 watt, because it's going to be. My idea with it is it's a bit of a. It's going to be just an off-road thing basically. Yeah, the wheels are like total size with the tyres. The wheels are about. I think they're 19s, 18s or 19s, 19-inch wheels. So they're pretty big. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they're pretty big. Yeah. So yeah. Let's see. There you go. That's we've got 12 there. You can imagine 19s or something like the size of this. They're ridiculous. They're like. I don't think they're really scooter wheels. They might be ATV wheels, but yeah. Yeah, that's what I want. I want like big, because I don't know whether to. I've been thinking about putting suspension on it, and I'm just looking at how difficult it's going to be to put some decent suspension on it for off-road circumstances, which is going to be nearly all the time, if that's because that's my plan, you know. But why am I taking that? Yeah, I don't. I don't know about the old. I'm not sure about the suspension thing. I think it's just going to be too much of a. It's going to be too difficult for me, you know. If I'm building it myself, really. If I'm going to do suspension, I should really just buy something. Do you know what I mean? So for that reason, I'm thinking about bigger wheels and just like a little bit of maybe. Just less inflation in the tyre, if you know what I mean, and try and do it that way. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know much about it. I don't know anything about it, so I don't really know if that's going to work or not, to be honest. Just having like, yeah, not having them as pressurised as they would normally be, if you know what I mean. There, look, just a bit of fish paper in there just to stop that cable. Belts and braces, that is. Just to stop anything, you know. I'm going to do the same in this little hole. Yeah, so... yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm going to do the suspension or just do the tyres. I need to speak to someone who's actually built something before, or someone who builds... I picked up a little seat suspension. Yeah, no, it's going to be a like a standing scooter. There won't be a seat on it. It's like it's basically a ridiculous version of like a kid's scooter, if you know what I mean. It's going to be a standing scooter. It's not going to be sitting down. Otherwise, yeah, seat suspension would be good. Yeah. It's going to be a seated thing. A standing thing, sorry, not a seated thing. So... where's my caps on? Right there. Seems a bit bouncy to me, that. Maybe I might even hot glue that on the edge there so it just sits nicely and hot. Oh, do I want to hot glue the cable? Not really, if I'm honest. Kapton tape doesn't seem like it's doing the absolute strongest job in the world though. Also, let me sing the praises of Kapton tape because it is holding all these wires together nicely. I mean, when you're building one of these, I found out very quickly that Kapton tape is your friend. When I started doing this balance stuff, I was like, without this stuff, I'd be a bit stuffed. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's not a major shakes, it's just to hold it in place. I'm going to put something here where the BMS is. I was thinking about putting like, I don't know, I was thinking about maybe printing something and just putting it on top, but if I was going to put it on tonight, it's a bit late for that, to be honest. But I might not actually sit, because all I've got to do is sit the BMS on there. I don't know, to be honest. There's a lot of this bike that I'm kind of just making up as I go along. If I like, you know, which you would be for the first time and you're just building something yourself. You kind of do something and you go, oh, yeah, that probably's not going to work so well, is it? Ah, it's probably best that I do this instead. And then you just change it, you know. It's just the way it goes. So, yeah, I'm doing a bit of that. And we'll continue to do a bit of that, I think. Do I need to put some in there? I'm just going to put some in anyway. I was going to put that somewhere else, but I'm going to put it in there, just over the top. I like that. I like the fact that it's covering those cables all the way along for that BMS. Doing all this. I hope this bloody thing works when I get it on there. My God, do I hope it works. Tell you what we should do. Tape over these flipping connections, that's what we should do. We should tape over this, really, shouldn't we? That's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Let's go in a little bit. God, so delicate the focus on this. And you can't get it bleeding in. That looks good. Okay. Let's just do that. These ones are already covered here, but I'm still going to do it up until this point anyway. Found as well over these little bits, just nicking with the scalpel there, just helps them to go over. Tape down, make it all nice. Just nicking with the scalpel anywhere really. I want it to sit over. I'll put a couple of layers on that anyway, but scissors instead of teeth is probably a good idea. I'm going to put some fish paper over some of this at least anyway, around this end. Can't get any on top of the bits where the solder are because it's just too lumpy, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that really. I'm going to leave it and put some, I've got 25mm foam, so once I put a piece of adhesive foam across here, nothing's ever going to touch there anyway because it's just going to be bouncing on the foam, so I'm not really that worried about it, to be honest. Same thing with the knife. Put down there. Where do I want to go? I want to put some. Do I want to put some more on? I'm going to put another strip down there. Because I can't put any fish paper on top of it, I'm a little bit dubious about leaving just one layer on it. I've definitely coated up the negative side at least anyway. Put plenty of layers on that other side. That's a good question. I'll certainly think about the battery. I'm going to use a lot more than I did this time because I just kind of jumped into these because they were cheap. But yeah, quite possibly. Do you know what? When I've thought about it a little bit, I might use 21-700s instead of 18-650s, to be honest. And I might use the Molly cells, the P42As. I might use those. I'll see what the ampage requirements are and stuff, you know. But I might use those 21-700s because you get I'm getting a high ampage and I'm getting a higher. I mean, the size is bigger, so it's much of a muchness, I suppose, isn't it? Really, but yeah, I was thinking about using the 21-700s anyway. Yeah, I got the 25 Rs from Fogstar Wholesale. Fogstar Wholesale used to be £75 per order, but it's now they've dropped it down to £60 now, and I think that is because they don't sell their batteries to, or they don't market their batteries to vapors anymore. Their Samsung batteries, at least, they don't market to vapors anymore, do they? So they've had to drop that wholesale price a little bit, I think, because they're now marketing more to battery builders. Because they're selling cell holders and stuff as well, like these plastic cell holders. They sell all that stuff, and they sell nickel strip on there. So they're marketing to battery holders, even though battery makers aren't really, you know, still their main clientele for Samsung stuff. I don't think it's going to be vapors, isn't it? No matter what it says on their website or what Samsung think they're doing, or they're trying to convince Samsung they're doing. But yeah. Yeah, I'll go to Fogstar again. These cells have seemed good, so yeah. Why would I go anywhere else? I suppose I've never heard of Nikon. I've never heard of those. So the only one I came up with decent prices when I was searching was Fogstar. That's what I went from. Like I said, I did rush into it though. Yeah, so I've just had these. Just had these 30 Qs delivered from Fogstar. Oh, can't see them for speak, can you? Yeah, 30 Qs. Yeah, so I've got 12 of those, 10 of which I'm using. I'm going to do another stream soon, building a Makita drill battery. I've now got all the parts for it again, so I'm going to build it with those. Because I did a stream not long back building a Makita battery with this. It's just a case and the board and everything. You get all the bits of the nickel and stuff with it and that. I built one not too long back on stream, but I built it in reverse polarity, and it didn't set on fire, but it certainly dished out a load of smoke when I plugged it in. When I plugged it into a drill, and I think it knackered me drill as well. So that was yeah. I don't know. You might not have been here for that one, but yeah, that was a good stream. I keep saying I will put the. Well, yeah, I'm probably not going to put the video up because if someone follows it and burns their house down, I'm going to feel really bad about it. So, and evidently, even though you tell people not to do what you do, they generally do what you do. You know, or they at least have a go at it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So, yeah, I'm going to do another stream and I'll probably show the highlights of the last one on it, just so it's included in the stream where I actually do it properly. Instead of instructing someone how to set fire to themselves. Yeah, silly mistake. I just yeah, I'll put it in reverse polarity. Idiot. I was so sure it was all right as well. I was so surprised when it wasn't working. I was like, oh, why on earth is this not working? I've done everything right. You know, apart from put the positive where the positive needs to be. You know, and where the negative needs to be. Yeah. it was a good stream anyway. It was fun. Even if it did set on fire in the end. Okay, so where are we at now? So there is that's it, man. It's there now. It is there now. There's the positive wires coming through. That's the charge cable. These are the other positives. Let's tip it up. You can see it there. BMS, which I keep picking up and putting down, and I don't know where I put it. It's here. That is going right there on top of those positive wires, and then they get plugged into there, and that is the battery. Now get this right. Connect to load controller and charger negative. So these, when they're in the box, basically do a U-turn here, get soldered to two cables. One's going to the charge port and one's going to the what does it say? Oh, one's going to out to the controller. Yeah, that's right. So one will get connected to this, boom, and one will get connected to the charge port. So I'll just connect another cable with an end on it like that for the charge port. And then the two blue wires down here, which are the negative, are going to be joining up with exactly these two wires here, one each. I was thinking of just not using one and maybe just coming down to the two onto the one, because I mean this is a 200 amp. I don't need these two wires. These are 10 AWG, which is kind of the reason I didn't go for 10 AWG on these, because this is a 200 amp BMS capable of 200 amps current, as you can see right there, if you can see it, capable of 200 amps current, and it's got two 10 AWG wires on, which says to me that these are good for 100 amps each, and this is a 30 amp battery. I don't need more than two 12 AWG wires on this, I don't believe. So yeah, I may even leave one spare and just do that to that, basically, because there's never going to be 100 amps in there. And I may just share the load, you know. It's all connected in one, isn't it, anyway? So I may just share the load and make it easier for me to solder it myself. I may just do that anyway. Yeah. So the question is, what do I do next? I want to get this on here, but I'm also thinking I don't have to do anything with that. Once I connect it, I need to cover these up, so I need to think about that. I'm wondering whether I should size this into the box before I do this, before I weld all this stuff on. I'm not sure. Do I need to chop these down and just weld them? This is also a question. You can tell that I just make this up as I go along, clearly. I think that sits there fine. These plug into there. That plugs into there. I'll just get this fixed on. I'm not sure whether I can just put fish paper on the back of this, because it is. I don't see anything stuck to it in regards to being a heatsink or anything. Just wonder, oh, there is. There's the heatsink for the balance resistors. There's a heat pad that connects. Just looks like a piece of sponge. Looks like a heat pad. You can't see it in there. You can if I probably zoom in a little bit. See that blue bit in there? That blue bit there. That is like a piece of sponge that sits on all the way down on top of the on top of the balance resistors, and it's connected to this plate on top as a heatsink. But it's not as important as all those MOSFETs that are connected to that heatsink under there. You can see. So all the discharge MOSFETs are all connected. Got some sort of heat pad or something, and connected to this aluminium plate, which they're using as a heatsink, which is exactly the reason that this goes this way, because all the discharge MOSFETs are on this side. Let's zoom that out again, sorry. Yeah, it's exactly the reason that it goes the way it does, basically. Because all the discharge MOSFETs are on the outside. I don't want that load of heat sitting against the battery. That was my choice anyway. That's the choice I made. I didn't really consult anyone on that, but it just made sense to me, so that's what I did, and that's what I'm going to do. If someone tells me it's wrong, then they can kiss my backside, because I'm not rewiring this whole thing. So there you go. Simple, really. That's what's happening. See, that's just out of focus again still. This is for the on button. Yeah, so I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about just getting this attached and plugging it in. I want to put some heat shrink over those ends just while I'm messing, I think. I don't know whether I need to get it in the box just to size it up and see where the cables need to sit, or I'll just have it as one pack taped together and it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to try and get some fish paper on here. I'm going to get this battery popped down onto here. I'm going to move these cables. I'm probably going to disconnect this actually, because I don't need the spot welder anymore. In fact, that's it. This spot welder is done for this build, I think. He says. But I think so. I think that's it. Unless someone watches this stream and says, oh, you want more cables than that, which I don't think is going to happen. But, or one of the guys in the forum says, you shouldn't be doing it like that. And then I'll see what I can do to make it better, I suppose. Yeah, let's get some of that fish paper. Oh, look at that. It almost fits perfectly. It's like a dream. I'm going to cut a big chunk off it, because I hate handling this when it's in. By the way, I've got 100 metres of this, if anyone wants to know. Yeah, that's right. I needed half a metre, and I ordered 100 metres from China, because I was sick of trying to find fish paper. I might start eBaying it, to be honest. Because as there's none in the UK from what I can see, then don't mind undercutting the Chinese sellers for people to get it delivered, you know, within a week or something, instead of waiting 3 months to get it delivered from China for 2 metres. Hi Ali. Have you tested the voltages at the BMS connector end yet? From the battery, you mean? Tested the voltages at the BMS connector end yet? As in the main positive and negative? Is that what you mean? Yes, I think I haven't. You know what? I haven't checked the cables. I checked the battery, not the cables. So does that mean it's a good call for me to check? Yeah, it's a very good call for me to check that, isn't it? That is, yeah. See, that's why this is being live streamed, because I need people to come in and say to me, "Shouldn't you have done that?" And I'll be like, oh yeah, I do need to do that, don't I? And that's a bit too wide. I'm going to go across the batteries, I think, so I'm going to scrap that. That's a very valid point. Let's do it now. Let's do it right here, right now. Nope, the small connector. Oh, I'm confused now. Small connector. So I always check before plugging in. Oh, you always check the... Oh, the balance connectors you're talking about, sorry. Oh, you saying so they're all the balance leads are in order, in proper order? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you might be saying. Yeah, so, yeah, I think that's what you're saying. You're saying measure from hold the neg on here and then just build up all the way through so it sees that you're adding the voltages properly and it doesn't jump 2 voltages, which means that you've got 2 the wrong way around. I did do it the other day. Yeah, I have done it. But you know what? Just so everyone else or anyone who may watch this knows what you're talking about, and it's a very good point and a valid point and should be done when you've just fitted the balance wires, because it will tell you that you've got everything right, is that you should be just metering out the balance cable basically. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so that gets, you can kind of see what I'm doing at least. Yeah, it's a very valid point. I did do it, yeah. In fact, I think I saw that method on your video, which is why I did it. So there it is. There's 3.4. Sorry, you can't see because of my hands, but I'll try and allow you to see. But and I cover that in the process, which is excellent. Well done. Wow, this is really difficult to do while people are... We've done the first one. Let's do the second one because it's going to be easier for me to get. You know that's in the first one. So there we go. That's 7 volts. So they should all be 3.5 because that's what they were when I built the pack. Yeah, so it should just go up in 3.5 increments. There's 7. 10.5. This is going to show how bad my maths are at this point. 14, that's right. And we should get 17.5. Yep. Is it 21? Yep. 24.5. Bob on. 28, lovely. 31.5 is correct. And I've lost my place because the connector was slipping. I think that's the next one. No, it can't be. It's got to be that one. That's better. 35. 38.5, yep. 42, there she is. 45.5. On to connection 14. 49 volts. There she is. That's the final. And then pos to neg, it's the same thing. 49 volts. Because that 14, the balance wire and the main, the end pos goes to there as well. Yeah. So they are all in good shape. Absolutely. But it's a very good point, Ali. Absolutely. That is something you should do as soon as before you plug the BMS in. Because I have heard horror stories of people plugging it in and it's incorrect and not. I don't know. I'd say that. Have I heard things about it being a bad outcome? Maybe if you plug it in or try to charge it or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, mate. I can only imagine that it's not gonna be very good for it. I suppose for the BMS, really, more than anything. Maybe it blows something on the BMS. Obviously, you need to have it in the right order anyway for the balance charging to work properly. It's going to go a bit mental when it thinks it should have 1 voltage and it's 3.5 volts lower or 4.2 volts lower. It's going to be a bad day, isn't it? It's going to be a bad day. Yeah, I'm just thinking, should I check these now? But I've kind of like heat shrink them up. I'm sure it'll be fine. They're connected to the ends where I'm getting voltage from, so it's all good. Yeah, exactly. That is what it is. All them failures are people plugging it in. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, yo. How's it going, Az? Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you Azzy from the? I know you messaged on the staff forum earlier, but I didn't know if it was you were Azzy as in the Azzy I've spoke to before, because you seem to have a different name on the forum now, which is Jazzy and not Azzy. I don't know, or are you a different person? I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing you up. Right, so I'm going to put some fish paper on it. Oh, okay, mate. You're the guy who was building the spot welder and did a video and stuff with it. Your homemade spot welder, and I was asking you about it when I bought the copper-plated nickel-plated copper strips to do the battery with. When I bought that, and I couldn't do them on my spot welder, I think you were building a spot welder. Oh, you forgot your password, right? Okay. Yeah, it is you then. Yeah, well, you're local to me as well. Then in that case, you're I believe mentioned you were local as well. Because I mentioned when I got this up and running, I was gonna scoot over and meet you somewhere and give you some nickel-plated copper to try out, wasn't I? Which I'm still happy to do, mate. I've still got 1 kilogram of nickel-plated copper strip in 3 different sizes in my in my room here, and I haven't done anything with it. I should probably put some of it on eBay. I'd probably be able to sell it, to be honest, but I just haven't done anything with it because I'm just flipping lazy, clearly. Oh, you've built another one. What did you do with the first one then? You still got the first one though, or did you get rid of it? I may get to put some of this on here, but I just don't know how well it's going to stick and what it's worth. I think I'm just going to stick it like that and wrap it around the bottom. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, definitely. Like I say, well, hopefully it's not going to be too long till I've got this up and running. But I'll message you on the forum, and because I'm going to want to get out and test it out and do some miles anyway. So I don't think you're far from me, so I'll message you and we can meet somewhere. Maybe somewhere around Cannock or something if that's near you. I don't know whether it is or not, but let me know what is near you and then we'll sort it out. And I'll bring some up, man. Sorry, there is a hella delay on these on the questions due to because there's a delay on the stream that I send out, I think, as well. So it may seem a little bit my replies might seem delayed to the certain things you're saying or whatever. Nothing I can do about that. I built a welder too, but it was crap, so I bought one like yours. Ah, okay, cool. Ah, Cannock you can walk to, sweet. Nice one. In that case, it's done. It's a done deal. On the e-bike, it'd probably take me, what, like 15 or 20 minutes, I suppose, to get up to Cannock, I guess, something like that. So, I'll do that, man. I'll message you. I'll let you know. Yeah, I bought some of this fish paper off AliExpress, and to be honest, I didn't think I was going to get it in time, so I just went and ordered a bucket load off Alibaba. But obviously, as I say, I bought 100 metres of it, so I've got enough fish paper to do batteries till the end of time, you know. So, but this stuff that I bought off Alibaba seems better. The stuff I bought off AliExpress which is just this little roll. It seems a little bit thicker. It seems kind of the same stuff. It's not as dark a colour, I don't know, but it doesn't seem as sticky. It doesn't seem as good anyway. So I was like, when it got delivered, and I was like, oh, it came in time, and I've just ordered 100 metres as well. Bugger it. But then when I realised that this is actually better, and it's more, the adhesive's better on it, I was quite happy. I was quite happy with it. Am I happy that I've got 100 metres when I need half a metre? I'm not going to say I'm happy about it, because I'm not happy. I'm not sitting here smiling about it, thinking, wow, what a great decision. Well done. Congrats. That's not what I'm thinking. But on the other side, I'm just thinking it's okay. It's not the end of the world, is it? Probably sell some. Probably give some to you guys if you need some on the forum and that. So it's all good. It's all good. It wasn't that expensive. Well, the shipping was as much as the roll. Which is, yeah, as it is ever the case from China, to be fair, but yeah. Okay, that's cool. I'm happy with that to go on there now. Anyone got any suggestions how I fix this to here? I was thinking of just literally just taping round with Kapton tape and taping it to it, or doing like hot glue in the corners where this bit meets. Like it's going to sit kind of on these parts here. So I was going to like hot glue it maybe to there and tape round it at the same time. I don't know. What do you think? Answers on a postcard will take too long. So answers in chat. Answers on a postcard. Jesus. Shows your age, doesn't it? When the game shows used to say answers on a postcard. Send it in. Hot glue. Okay, mate. Cool. Sounds like a good idea. I was thinking hot glue would be a good shout. Oh, hot glue and then just do some tape around it as well. Sticky foam. Sticky foam. Sticky foam. Bubble gum. Alright, stop taking the mick. I need to take the mick because I'm a helpless noob battery builder. Come on here and just take the mick out of me. It's better anyway. It's better if you come on here and take the mick out of me. It'd be boring otherwise, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it just be boring? Wouldn't life be boring if no one took the mick out of you? Sorry, I'm just getting rid of the huge battery at the side of me because I don't need it anymore. Get my high quality Zacro model RT 5803 glue gun out. You're Irish. Oh, is that like a slur towards Irish? I've never really thought about it. Is that a slur to Irish people? Oh, bloody hell! I'm sorry if it is. I only said. Oh God, now I feel bad. I only said it because I don't want to say taking the piss. Because I just try not to swear. That's all. And I can't think of something else. Irish lives matter. Sugar. Oh dear. Sorry, Ali. I honestly did not realise if that's a slur on your Irish blood, then I do apologise. That was not my intention. Where does that come from then? Where does that come from? I suppose Mick is an Irish. It's Irish slang for Irish person, isn't it? I suppose. God, now I feel terrible. Right, that's it. I'm ending stream. I can't stay on now. I feel really bad. I'm joking. I'm going to stay on. I'm going to keep apologising for it. Every time you post a comment, though, I'm going to say, like, oh, it's Ali again. Oh, mate, I'm sorry. I ain't going to stop. I honestly didn't know. Please don't take offence to what I say. Nothing I say is meant in any offensive way. I am known to be a complete nana on the regular. On the reg. Me glue gun is heating up. This is it. This is it. Don't get scared now. It's time. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to hot glue this mother. Get that mother. Right. Where's the hot glue going? I need to work it out as well. I don't think most of this sticks to it, so I'm just going to put it on the raised parts. A big, good chunk on all the raised parts, the batteries and stuff there. That's where I'm going to stick it. I'm concerned that I'm hot gluing just to tape and stuff, so if the tape comes off, then the hot glue just loses its whole purpose. But I am going to glue to the plastic on the sides as well. Although, you know what? I'm going to cut some of this Kapton tape off because I am going to hot glue to there, especially here, or at least here, because that's where the hot glue is going to sit. If it's just glued onto tape, it's kind of pointless, isn't it? I know, right? Yeah, yeah. It's just terrible. I didn't even think about that. Do you know what I mean? I didn't. Yeah. I suppose I've never really thought of it that way. God, it's almost. I suppose you could. It's a racial slur, really, isn't it? It's a racial slur. I could get banned from YouTube for that. I don't suppose getting banned from YouTube is going to affect my life in any major way, though, to be honest. Am I being too finicky, just wanting to get the tape off here so the hot glue sticks to the actual plastic and not the tape? Am I being too picky? Is that a bit overkill? Am I being a bit too obsessive, compulsive kind of thing? Or whatever you call it. Balance heatsink is on the outside, on the top. Yeah, so all the... oh, sorry, balance heatsink. I believe the balance heatsink is on the bottom side here, against the battery. Where the heatsink, where all the balance resistors are, you mean? Is that what you're talking about? Because there's two lots of heat sinks. I was chatting about this earlier. I just zoomed in on it. So in here, so that's the let's hold it. There's the heat, that little pad there runs all the way down, and that's the heat sink. That's the pad for the balance resistors. That just sits on the balance resistors all the way down. And then the heatsink for the actual discharge MOSFETs, I think, are these, are they not? Because there's the 2 rows of MOSFETs, and that's the heat pad there. So I was guessing that this is the hottest side on discharge. Am I right? Oh, this is the side that gets hot, the balance side. Oh God, I was joking about that earlier, going, this is the side that gets hot and I'm not really worried about this side. And if someone tells me to change it, then bugger it, because I'm not changing it now anyway. I was actually joking about it earlier. Stay cold. Hey? The FETs stay cold and the balance resistors get hot. That is not good news. That's not what I want to hear. Oh, maybe that's a good reason for me to... Oh, let's put this back. Maybe that's a good reason for me to actually print something then in that case. Now you've kind of said that. I might... In that case, I might scratch the idea of putting this on here. Oh, it depends how hot they get. I don't know how hot they get, those balance resistors. They get mega hot, do they? God, I was thinking of, like, logically that the discharged FETs would get the hottest. Well, bugger me. Sorry, am I allowed to say bugger? Ali, you got me like thinking about everything I say now. $35 to $60. God, that's not good. That's only on charge though, right? That's only when they're charging. Yeah, I didn't know that at all either, Ali. Not at all. I did not know that. I thought it was... yeah, only when it's balancing. Right, okay. Okay. Which is during and after charge as well, I'm guessing. Is that after charge as well? Doesn't it continue to balance once it's finished charging? Or does it just do that whilst charging? Stick some foam between about. Okay, cool. I'll tell you what I have got. I've got some of this foam here. But this is only EVA foam. I don't think it's very heat resistant. It is actually what I was going to wrap around the battery to protect it when I'd finished it, to be honest. Oh, it is what I was going to wrap around. It's only like 3mm, I think it is. Is it 3mm EVA foam? I think it's 3mm. 2mm. It's 2mm EVA foam. Is that any good or not? I've got some neoprene, foam rubber in the other room, which is a 5mm, which is in strips, and I could just put some strips down it just to keep it off there. Is that a good idea? It's the stuff I'm using for like shock absorbing sort of foam inside the case. Kind of just plastering it around to keep this safe. Bloody hell. What battery have you got then? Is it the same as this? Is it a 48 volt or 50 volt or whatever? I guess the temperature sensors are going to tell me when I first charge it, aren't they? But I probably want to monitor it while it's in the case as well, because it's probably going to be a bit warmer in there. Right, I've removed that tape on there, so that's just the plastic, so I'm quite happy about that now. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, no, I agree with that. Let me go and grab this foam, hang on a sec. Here we go. So I've got this stuff. This is neoprene foam rubber. It's probably good for a hotter temperature. This is, I think, 25mm or something. Away from the cells, but it might also keep the BMS nice and toasty. Decisions. Oh, 104 volt. Jesus. I wonder it's getting hot. No, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this. Hopefully this won't be as bad. That's 10mm, and then I've got some that's like a 2mm. Is it? I think it's about 2mm, 3mm foam. Yeah, I've got some that's just a bit thinner anyway. So maybe I just put some of that down there. You know. It's only going to touch these ones anyway, to be fair. So I can put that on there and that on there. Nah, I might as well just put the whole thing down there, mightn't I? I could even put 2 rows of it, to be honest, one on top of the other, just to keep it away. So it's about 5mm off the battery. And there'll be, if I put 2 strips down, there'll be a little bit of like an air gap in the middle as well, in between it, so you just kind of maybe get a bit of airflow in there inside a sealed box. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll use this one, I think. I'll use a couple of strips of this. And this is the neoprene stuff as well, so I think it's probably going to be a little bit more resistant to heat than that EVA foam rubber stuff up there. This is the stuff, and that other 10mm stuff, that I've put kind of inside the case and around to stop it bumping and stuff when it's inside the box, basically, when I'm riding. That's my shock absorbing stuff, basically. I'll tell you what I have ordered, thinking about it, because I was thinking about like ventilation for boxes and stuff. Have you got ventilation into your boxes and that? Because mine is like completely sealed, and I've built like I've got a neoprene gasket that I built as well, that goes around the, so I made a gasket for it as well, which is literally just neoprene rubber, and I've just cut it around and super glued the corners of it and stuff, which is, it's pretty solid, and then I've just sanded down the joints where it's where the glue was. It's pretty decent, but that's the gasket to go around the case, just to stop any water ingress, really, more than anything. Well, definitely more than anything, but I've got space for the foam in the box, definitely, yeah, because it's only going to be an extra 6mm raised off the battery. It should be fine. It's quite far away from anything when it's in the case, that part anyway, so yeah, that's cool. I'm going to cut a bit off and stick it on. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it! Something like that. Love it. Let's do it. It's going to really... it's really going to get to me if I don't cut it straight, though. I've got to be honest. It's going to, like, severely harm my OCD if I don't cut that straight. And I've lost my scissors, which makes it even harder to do. Ah, there they are. Looks like a sieve. Suppose your battery's probably all wrapped up though, isn't it? See, I wasn't going to put any... did you put any heat shrink around your battery, that blue stuff? I'm not going to put any on this, you see. So I never understood putting all the heat shrink around it when you want to try and like keep the cells cool in a sealed box. I mean, I never understood that, so I just didn't do it. But I can't believe I was making a joke about that earlier, and it is the side with the side with the balance resistors that gets hot, so I've decided to do it this way. Oh my god. That's just so funny. You turnip. Put a bit of that on, shall we? I'm just going to put it around about there. Try and go in. Want me to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing? Is that going to help? Does that make you happy? Probably make someone happy somewhere. God, the depth of field on this camera is so shallow. So yeah, I'll just put that on there. It's going to wrap just around the end there. And it acts as a nice little bumper on the end as well. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I love it. My battery with fiberglass reinforced. Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like you're not going to get water going in there anyway, I suppose. See, mine's a bit more open because I'm not going to do that, you see. So I was a bit concerned about it, but... I'm trying to do this on camera so you can see me, so you're not just looking at a screen and hearing me fumbling in the background. But it's kind of hard when I'm zoomed in, and I can't be bothered to just keep zooming in and out all the time. So I'm going to be just sticking it on in a second anyway. So all I'm doing is cutting a few pieces of foam. That's it. I'm going to stick myself with that knife in a bit. I know it. So I keep putting it down and not putting the cap on it. I'm going to hurt myself. Where is the cap? Oh my god, this is such an unorganised station. Smell hot glue. Don't get that up against my cables. Get lost. Right, I'm going to put it down over there. Hopefully I won't cut myself open on it. Lovely job. Oh, look at it. Oh, it's like it was done by a professional almost. Oh, my word. Oh, it's got a little bit of a suspension feel as well. Nice. Nice. Question is, should I raise it up another two? Is that going to be too much? I think it's going to be alright. I need to be concerned about, actually, I need to think about how far off these connectors are. That's what I need to think about. Getting these plugged in, don't I? So if I go too far, then I'm not going to have enough cable to do it. Now if I plug this in now, is this going to start trying to balance stuff and everything, even with none of these connected at the end? If I plug the balance leads into this, is it going to start doing stuff? It's good that you're here because I can ask that question, because I would have just plugged it in and said, well, I'll find out in a minute, and I'll just plug it in. But I think I have to turn it on with the switch, don't I, for it to actually do anything. I'm not going to plug it in until you say something. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just plug it in. You might have gone for a cup of tea, so I might just plug it in. Let's test it. Bugger it. I can't wait any longer. I can't wait for you to say anything. I'm going to find out as soon as I plug this in anyway. It's in now. It's in now. If you were going to say something, it's too late. Probably not until you configure it for the number of cells. Oh, come on. Okay, well I'll just test it in that case. I don't think I can get it off there any more than that. Oh, maybe it'll be alright actually. I think it's going to be alright. Configure it for the number of cells. I have to. It's going to be alright. I'm going to put some more on it. I have to do that with the when it's not plugged into the battery. What do I do? How do I power it on to do the Bluetooth thing then? Bang! It didn't go bang. It's okay. So what do how do I power it on to get the Bluetooth? Or yeah, I don't get it. So I need to power the Bluetooth module, don't I? Okay, mate. Yeah, cool. See you in a min. Have a drink of water. Oh, didn't know that. I thought it just stayed off until I turned it on, so I could plug it all in and everything, get it all on, and then when I turned it on, I just had to tell it how to. Yeah, I've got the VBMS app. That's what I'm configuring it with. It's an Ant BMS. I'm using the VBMS app, but obviously I need to power this BMS. It needs power for me to talk to the Bluetooth module, doesn't it? How much power does it need for that? Does it need a full... Protection board factory default settings line 24S parameters. If you don't connect 24S, you need to connect to Bluetooth to set up the battery types and cells. It actually says it on here. That's what I need to do. Oh, is that what you were using this battery? The battery on this connector for? You were connecting a cell to this, or is it another connector? Oh, maybe I need to look at this then before I go any further. I need to have a sit down and look at that, don't I? I need to configure all this, do all that stuff. Oh, that's a bit of a mare because I can't carry on, can I? Really, essentially. I need to look at that then in that case. I need to have a look, don't I? I like the way these leads have all turned out though. I'm quite happy with this. Yes, you did connect a battery to those two cables there. Which is essentially the switch cable, is what it's labelled as. Which I thought it was just for a switch. Connecting the charger also starts the Bluetooth. Okay. Okay. Maybe I'm totally misreading this then, because the positive doesn't even go through this unit, does it? These are all negative connections. Controller and charge port negative to here, and battery negative to here. This just runs across the negative of the battery. The positive goes straight out to the controller and the charge port, doesn't it? This is why I couldn't find any videos of people wiring an Ant BMS as well. I looked online, and the guys actually from the company who make, or one of the companies that sell them probably, they don't actually give you much info. They just kind of show you it on the screen and stuff, and don't show you connecting it or anything like that, you know. I might just go away and plug this in tonight then and just sit down and have a look at it. Try and figure that out. Read the yeah, the manual. Which manual's that? Oh God. If only they had a manual for it. Right, in that case, I need to set this up before I'm going to plug this in. Gets the POS from the balance wires. Right, okay. Yeah, I need to go away and have a look at this then. I'm not going to plug this in or do anything else with this Eve, unfortunately. I wanted to get that on there and glued down and taped up and stuff, but I haven't done anything with it, so I need to take it away, power it up, and figure out getting the BMS, the VBMS app, all connected to it and running and stuff. That is what I need to do next, and it's not fitting this to there, is it? So, in that case, Oh, Azzy's going to come back in a minute and I'm going to have ended the stream. And he's going to go, what happened? What happened? Excuse me. Yeah. I'll tell you, just quickly, as on another note. Oh, okay. Right, I see. Yeah. Oh, okay, so it's plugged into the chart. Right, okay, so I just plug that in. Yeah, and it comes from there. Right, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to go away and have a faff with it. I'm going to go away and have a look at it, definitely. I'm not going to do it while I'm sitting here. I'm going to go and sit down with it and have a look at it if I need to set it up, and then I'll come back and do it again and plug it all in and get it sorted. What was I going to say? Yeah, I was going to say, because I didn't want to leave while Azzy was not here and just come back to a blank screen. I was going to say I've ordered some hydro. What's it called? I've ordered some mesh that's like waterproof, that lets air through but doesn't let water through. And I was thinking about cutting some of that into the battery box. I've ordered it just to look at it, really. I probably won't have a chance to put it on this one now anyway. But because I've been looking for some sort of venting or vent solution to put on the battery box so air can get in but doesn't let water in. I had a look for a couple of things and I couldn't really find much. I found a little vent which just basically stops condensation, which is... I've actually got it in here, to be fair. I bought one because I was thinking I was going to put it in, but maybe just to stop that fact. It wasn't really going to vent any hot air though. It's just one of these. It's actually an IP65 thing. It's just a vent, like a little... I think it's what it's got inside. It's actually got this mesh that I'm talking about inside here anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about using one or a couple of them, but then I just decided against it, to be honest. And yeah, I found some of this mesh stuff that lets air through but doesn't let water through. Seemed quite cool. It's metal, I think. I think it's like a metal wire mesh. And it is, let me just find it and I'll tell you exactly what it's called as well. Oh, that's brilliant. It doesn't even say what it is. How wonderful. Oh, I forget what it's called. Anyway. Yeah. Can't remember. Forget it. I just didn't know if you'd heard of anything like that or used anything like that before. Hydrophobic. Got ya. Sorry about your ears. I'll probably just hurt if you've got earphones on. Hydrophobic. Hydrophobic mesh. That's what it is. Stops water going through but lets air through. Because obviously the mesh is so fine that the water molecules can't get through it, clearly. Yeah, so I was thinking about maybe putting a vent on it somewhere with that stuff. Just so it's... Take it easy, mate. See you later. Nice one for dropping in. Okay, I'm gonna knock it on the head here anyway, because I need to clearly go and program this, and I didn't realise that I had to do that. So, isn't it a good job that you came here today and told me not to plug this in? Because it would have been like really bad, wouldn't it? Yeah. Well, I don't think it'd be really bad. It just probably wouldn't have worked properly. And I'd have gone like, oh, I wonder why it's not working properly. And I'd have took it off and blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right, well, I'm going to go because I'm going to go and sort this out. So, unfortunately, I can't really do any more. I've only just done them cables and showed you what I'm doing. I can't really do anything else. So, I'm going to go and I'm going to have a look at this and see if I can work out how the hell it works. Or how I power it up to program it. I'll find out, I'm sure. I'm going to have a look on the forum. Someone put something on the forum about sorting one of these out the other week anyway, so I'll go and have a look. Alright, guys. Okay, mate, cool. I'm going to go anyway, mate. I'm out of here. I'll be back on. See if I can finish this beast another day. Now that's cropped up. Have a look at this first in the meantime. And I'll catch you all on here again soon, I'm sure. Take it easy. I'll have to... like I say, when it's up and running, I'll message you about dropping that stuff over. Because I will be out and about on it. Having a bit of a razz. So, yeah. Don't type while you're driving. It's illegal. Alright. Catch you all later. See you in a bit. Ta-da.